نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد تفضل الشيخ.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another installment of the R2F show. And today we have a special presentation, and we're going to continue with this presentation as we get more information. Just a little background for maybe some of our new guests, our new, what do you call them, listeners or viewers or whatever you want to call them. We are talking about a cult group called Tmoa, or the Muslims of America. Which is a cult group started by a fraudulent Sheikh named Mubarak, who has since passed away, and has the group is now taken over by one of his widows named what's her name, Zainab Adams,
yeah.
or Noor,
or Sheikh,
and yes, or Sheikh Sheikh Noor. And just a little context. This cult group, what it is, they have several locations in the United States, maybe about 10, 12 properties, call them compounds or whatever you want to call them, where members of the group actually buy mobile homes, trailers, build homes on these properties to live. However, the people put their money in to move onto these properties, and if they upset administration, if they don't pay their membership dues, which actually doesn't go to the properties, it just funds the lifestyles of the leaders, they will kick them out of their homes, kick them out the properties, and they since lose all their property. In Islam, we know that property is a sacred trust. It's one of the things we have to guard as Muslims is our property. And so what happened is an individual named Salman Rahim, a few months ago, well, more than a few months ago now, but last year, maybe around the end of summer or the fall, beginning of fall of 2023, he had an issue or discussion with one of the leaders of the Virginia land named Ishmael Haq. Ishmael Haq, who was the mayor of the land. And during that discussion, I guess he refused to pay membership dues, or he asked about membership dues or something along those lines, and they kicked him out. And we have the message here. Let's see if I could show it. Hold on. Can I show the message without showing my whole chat?
If not, I can just put it into a Word document. I got you.
You got it?
All right. Give me 1 second. Let me just forward it to myself.
And so he was kicked out of the community. And since he's kicked out of the community, they also kicked him out of his house. He had 2 homes on the property, was not allowed to go to his homes. And that's where we left off at. And we'll read the dismissal notice in a minute. It's on screen. Let me put that up there.
It says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear respected community members, we hope this reaches everyone well. We write to inform the community that Salman Rahim of Red House VA has been dismissed from TMOA effective immediately. Salman Rahim has refused to follow TMOA policy and made his stance clear. He always told us, I only need one sincere talib. Therefore, we, Murshid Khamil, our beloved, will not hold on to anyone who has already removed themselves from our way. May Allah keep our feet firmly planted upon the path our beloved Murshid Khamil has set forth for us, and make us sincere in our oaths and to our last breath. Jazakallah khair, Majlis Ashura.
So, standard dismissal notice, right? We're not going to get into the dismissal. I mean, there's stuff we can talk about, but that's not why we're here today, right? We're going to actually talk about the case because Salman has decided, we found out, to sue TMOA for wrongful eviction. And the great thing about the country we live in today is that these sorts of things are public record. And all you have to do is know the courthouse or the court district that they filed the lawsuit. And so we went down there and got all the legal documents related to the case. And so what we're going to do is go through these legal documents. We're going to go through them because there's some quite entertaining stuff. Not entertaining, but really it's entertaining to us because we know all this stuff, right? But it's really for the people that are in TMOA, the truth. Yeah. This should open up your eyes of how your cult or your organization operates. It should open up your eyes because it's just really simple to put it down into one word. Liars. Liars, 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 liars. Right? And the truth isn't afraid of anything. When you're on the truth, when you're telling the truth, you don't have to be afraid of anything. You just tell the truth and stand upon it, right? But when you know that you're dirty, you're grimy, you're shisty, you transgress people, you oppress people, you have to lie to try to cover it up. So we're going to get right into it. I'll share my screen. We'll pull the document up. And if anybody has anything else they want to chime in on, please just jump right in.
Well, I just want to add on real quick while you're loading that up is once again, we want to emphasize we're showing these documents and we're covering it not from, of course, we'll tell you our opinion, but we're going to show you the documents so you can actually know the truth. Because when y'all get into your powwows and y'all meetings in the cult, they're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you their one distorted side so that they can control your thinking. So we're showing y'all the truth so you can make a calculated decision based off of the facts. I'm sure plenty of people, even Salman's family and stuff, I'm sure they're not even listening out, hearing his whole side of the story to this day. I'm sure most of them didn't even hear it. So they don't even know what the truth is. And they have the nerve to be standing against him, whomever it may be. So hopefully y'all are paying attention and y'all can actually see the truth. If y'all think we forged documents or changed it, you can go right down to the courthouse yourself and get these same exact documents and read them for yourself. And then you can determine what's the truth.
Yes. So right here, if you guys want to go get the documents yourself, it's called the Freedom of Information Law. You could go get the documents. It's in the Circuit Court of Charlotte County. And you just look up for the court for TMOA, the Muslims of America Incorporated, or Sal Rahim. And here's the case number. If you just want to go, if you think we're doctoring stuff up, people have some crazy theories, with our Wahhabi money, we forged some court documents and all that. Go get them yourself and read them. And we will periodically be making visits down to the courthouse to get any updated documents so we can keep everybody informed on what's going on.
Absolutely.
So Sal Rahim is the plaintiff. So he's the one suing TMOA, okay, and Muhammad Ishmael Abdul Haq. That's as TMOA members know him, Qari Ishmael or Khalifa Ishmael or Mayor Ishmael, whatever title he goes by now. I don't know what. And just so more context, this is Sal's brother-in-law. He's married to Sal's sister, one of Sal's sisters. So, guys, just tell me to stop reading whenever you guys have an observation or want to talk about something. We're just going to go through it very diligently. So, Sal Rahim, by counsel, so pay attention, by counsel, that means he has a lawyer, sets forth the court the following. The parties. Rahim is a natural person who resides in the Commonwealth of Virginia. The Muslims of America Incorporated is a corporation that owns land in the Commonwealth of Virginia and engages activity in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Muhammad Ishmael Abdul Haq is a natural person who resides in the Commonwealth of Virginia on property owned by TMOA in Charlotte County, Virginia. So basically, this is setting out the parties. Basically, they all live and operate in the Commonwealth of Virginia, right? That's why they're establishing the court case can be heard here. The venues are proper in this court because this complaint is based in action occurred in Charlotte County, Virginia, and because Haq resides in Charlotte County, Virginia. So again, establishing the court. You might see on TV things like they try to change venues. No, we should try the court here, Basically, this document is established like this is the proper place to hold the court hearing. The facts. Facts applicable to all counts. TMOA owns considerable acres of land in Charlotte County, Virginia, on which is located over a score of mobile homes. A family lives in each of such mobile homes. So it's basically saying They own land here, and they have mobile homes on these lands. The head of household in each such mobile pays rent to Tmoa. Okay? So they give Tmoa money for living there, which we all know, and we could have hundreds of witnesses testify that this is the case. Rahim is a head of household of one such mobile home, which belongs to him. That mobile home is a Palm Harbor 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, single wide. Since about 1999, Rahim has paid rent to Tmoa. So he's lived there since 1999. Mm-hmm. And since 1999, he has been given money to Tmoa to live there. Okay? Some places, and we could just step out real quick from what we know from being in Tmoa. In New York, for instance, we had two different types of ways. One way that they collected money for rent or land expenses is at the end of each year, we had to pay a portion of our property tax. So they would take the property tax of the whole land and divide it up by whoever lived there. And we had to pay our portion. Okay. Then they switched it to you had to pay a monthly fee. They called it a land tax fee, which was including the property taxes and whatever local type expenses, whether it was like doing the trash, plowing the roads, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So that's what we paid in rent. And we all know that one of the conditions of living on Tmoa land is to pay what? Membership dues. Yeah. Right? You can't live on the land and not pay no membership dues. Even though you can get away with it for a long time, but as soon as they want to get rid of you, they say, hey, you ain't paid your membership dues, you got to go. Even though the membership dues don't actually go to anything in the land. It's simply a for-profit business for the leaders of Tmoa because they get paid salary, they buy things, they do whatever they want with that money. Mubarak can attest to because he's been a mayor, part of leading a land where they collect money. And we talked many times, different situations of when people have asked, hey, can we use some of the membership dues to help our land? And they explicitly, emphatically say, no, that money's going to our leader, our Sheikh, our Sheikha, our Murshida, Akhlabate, Shura Council, whatever you want to call the leaders of Tmoa.
Yeah, they basically have two tiers where they collect the dues for local and for international, which goes to the cult leader. Then also a portion of the local usually is held back just in case the cult leader or his minions request it, which they always do. And then that is sent. But if you use the local dues for all of it for local stuff, you'll probably be replaced. So just some context.
Yeah. And really, and even the breakdown, this is just showing that we know, everybody should know that Tmoa collects money. And what the point of this is, we're talking about a lawsuit, is that he's paid money since 1999, which is what, going to be 30 years?
Yeah.
Over 30 years that he's been paying money to live on this land. Right, which
that's 25.
Who knows
right?
how much that is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
25 years.
Think about it. That's 25 years that he's been paying, and he is one person on one property. So you can times that by literally hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we have confirmation and legal documents, copies of legal documents of they have millions of dollars. Like we already know this, right? So in addition to being a landlord or landowner and landlord as to its land ownership, Tmoa is a religious cult with many members, the Tmoa members who do the bidding of the Tmoa cult. Look at that. We went from R2F, right? Starting off when we were doing our work, and then people, oh, you can't call them a cult. They're not a cult. We now have legal documents that
define them as such. Yes.
Tmoa cult. Right. So, and when you have a legal document of it, it doesn't mean it because this is just a claim. But whether or not Tmoa is a cult will most likely be addressed in court because it's in the legal petition, right? Which will be very interesting. As a cult, TMOA calls on TMOA members to pay what TMOA describes as monthly membership dues of 10% of the income of each member, which we just talked about. Hawk is in the leadership of TMOA. I mean, so far, there's nothing but facts so far, right? Nothing but facts.
And,
Hawk
and let's just make sure,
and 10%.
Yeah, let's make sure that people keep in mind that for y'all people that know that are either on the Virginia land or the leadership structure, hierarchy, or whatever the leadership land, you already know this as a fact that Hawk is a member of the leadership. You know this. However, you're going to run into some information in which there's a claim that he's not part of the leadership, or he's just like a volunteer or whatever. I don't know if that was going to be in this document, but just keep that in mind, that Hawk is a member of the leadership, and I don't think anyone that knows anything about this land can deny that fact. So just look for when that fact changes and who's being truthful about it and who isn't.
Yep, and just to piggyback off Mubarak real quick. For anyone who's aspiring to be, next up in line, right, to be, part of the Sure Council or admin, right, see how fast they'll throw this brother here under the bus, all right, and imagine what's going to happen when it's your turn, all right, because Uncle Abim said it best. It is a family business, and you are not family, okay? So it could be anyone. You call him Mahmoud, Ahmed Pearsons, Jordan, anyone. Yep. Y'all could
imagine if this was Georgia. Imagine if it was where's Ahmed at? Georgia, right?
Georgia, yeah. If
this was Georgia.
Yeah.
Then it would have been
you cooked.
Ahmed, Ahmed would have been the one.
It would have been like he is a lone wolf malcontent who doesn't subscribe to our views. And
look, this for anybody that knows how TMOA gets down. We don't have to even know any of this. When we knew that Salman filed a lawsuit, we already knew that someone was going to go down for it, right? This has been how they've been operating for 4+ decades now. Someone takes the fall for TMOA, and then they get a little pat on the back, maybe get a little severance package or whatever. Then they get to come back and be honored and respected and all that because they took an L for TMOA, right? So we already know this, and to tie it into, I think TMOA had a youth career fair or whatever, and people were asking them, how do I become a member of the Sure Council? Well, one of those methods is you wait for someone to take the fall and you be there to go step in their place.
Next in line, suit on, I was rooting for this,
So Hawk is in the leadership of TMOA. Hawk is represented to members that membership dues are used for purposes including infrastructure, land development, and community functions.
We've heard that before.
Liar.
Absolute cap.
Liar.
Because
stop cap.
We know that recently, or not, it was maybe last year, your Sheikh held an Eid, a mandatory Eid, a reunion tour for everyone to come to VA. It wasn't free. So it should have been free if all your membership dues for the past years have been going to community events. She charged you, $400 per person or family?
It was exuberant prices.
Yeah, it was $400.
It was exuberant.
Yeah. So that's cap. The roads are still crappy. I haven't seen any roads from anyone the roads are fixed now. Mashallah. The mosques are still under construction. It's been that way for 15 years, 20 years. So,
and we have so many people that can testify directly, even myself, of the leadership specifically saying on multiple occasions that money is not to be used for local. It's supposed to go directly to the Sheikh. So to say it's used for community functions, land development, infrastructure is a flat lie. So we all know that.
All they don't even say that to the people no more. Remember, they don't even answer that question no more. That's actually reaching. Now they just tell you don't worry about where it goes. Right. So that's actually giving them too much credit. That's probably what somebody said way back when. That ain't what they say now if you ask them that question.
Yeah. I dare one of you TMOA members to go ask, hey, is it true that our membership dues go to infrastructure, land development, and community functions? And if they say yes, they say, so where's it been all these years?
That's pretty shocks, but
you have to be honest with yourself. Like I said, with Hawk being a member of leadership, we know that's true. And whenever we see that something like that says to the contrary, we're going to know exactly who's the liar. Just like this, we know as a person who has paid those dues before and has collected those dues before and have seen people get kicked out over those dues before and have seen people get reinstated for paying a bunch of back dues that they owed before, we all know that those dues go out of the country, overseas to the Sheikh. That's where they were going for 40 years almost. We know that this is a fact. Anybody who is denying that, you gotta check the veracity of any other statement they make, because anybody who's in the cult or out of it now that has any working knowledge of how it goes, they know exactly what that is. There's no denying that fact. That money goes to the leadership, and it does not reinvest or circulate back into those properties in any way. We know that.
Yes. And it's ironic that they keep saying, like, his name's Abdul Haq, so they keep saying Haq, which means truth, right? And we're gonna keep throughout this whole thing, we'll find how many lies associated with this brother who's decided to take the name Abdul Haq. So let's see. Okay, the representation recited in paragraph 12 of this complaint has been untrue. Memberships dues have not substantially been used for such purposes, rather to benefit leadership of TMOA, which is a true statement. And I'm liking Sale's lawyer because you can see he's being precise with his wording, right? Not overstepping, not making outlandish claims, because even if TMOA comes in and says, yeah, we do use a few dollars here and there for infrastructure, whatever, he very clear by saying have not substantially been used for such purposes, which no matter what they say is still a true statement, right? So I'm liking his lawyer. Count 1, intentional infliction of emotional harm, seeking compensatory damages and punitive damages. This is what I like to hear. And for all those people out there, there is, if anybody actually wants to do the legwork, there's a possibility that there could be a class action suit organized against the cult of TMOA for these evictions, broken families, forced divorces, assault, all these different things, but someone has to do the work for it. And so far, none of us had the time to actually pursue that. So if anybody has time and maybe wants to check, do some work. But anyway, paragraph 14, on or about June 2021, Rahim, who had been paying membership dues, refused to continue paying such dues. So this happened in the summertime. Okay, so we have a date, June 21st.
Yeah, around June.
Right? This is when it first happened.
Around June.
So over the summer, June 21st. Rahim indicated to TMOA that the reasons he stopped paying membership dues was because it did not appear the membership dues were being used to benefit the membership of TMOA. Like, look how authentic, like, I really want to point this out. When we're going through this, people, look how authentic, like, you're going to listen to this and you're not going to be like, you're like, Sal is telling the truth on every aspect of this. Like, you're not going to find one lie. Not one lie on this side.
And he's actually being nice with some of the...
What's that?
He's being nice with some of the wording. Because he said paying membership dues because it did not appear the membership dues were being used to the benefit of the membership of TMOA. But he factually knows that they were not being used for the benefit of the members. Factually. So he's being nice with the wording. But I see what you're saying. He's being very, very professional, which you have to be. So I understand.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's see. Haq is on his own. And for TMOA, Haq on his own. Okay, Haq on his own. And for TMOA. So basically saying Haq representing himself and also representing TMOA attempted to persuade Rahim to resume paying membership dues going forward. Rahim refused. So let's clarify one thing real quick. When you are appointed as an officer, a representative, a leader of an organization, when you are operating in that capacity, you represent that organization.
Yeah.
For instance, for my job, right? If I'm at work and I come to see, like I do audits, and I audit towns, villages, and stuff like that. If I go to the town and I go to, or the village, if I go to the village and I go to the mayor, I'm at work, I have my badge, and I start doing crazy stuff to the mayor, saying all types of reckless stuff, I'm representing my job, my career, who I work for in that capacity. Even if I'm doing stuff that doesn't align for what they want, they took the chance of appointing me to that position. So they take the risk of backing up my actions. That's just how business works. That's how the world works. That's how incorporations work. That's why you set up certain types of businesses to protect your, like the leadership from certain accountability for what the people operating under that organization may or may not do. So this is why it's making it very clear that Ishmael is operating by himself, which is why he's named separately, and he's operating on behalf of Tmoa because he's a leader in Tmoa. He was part of the Shura Council, he was a Khalifa, and he is the one in charge of that specific land.
Right.
The mayor of Red House, whatever, right? The mayor. So he attempted to persuade Raheem Sal to resume paying membership dues going forward. Raheem refused. On his own and on for Tmoa, and this is just legally speaking, they're going to keep saying that. But basically, Ishmael wrote and signed a letter to Raheem, copy of which is attached hereto, marked Exhibit A. Can't wait till we get to that at the end. So they issued Sal a letter in writing about his dismissal, right? And we just read the WhatsApp message that they sent around to everybody, the whole community, letting the whole community know that he's dismissed, right? Then they instructed Mujtaba Rauf, and I love the names because all these people are now witnesses. They got to come to court to testify. Mujtaba, you better start preparing, buddy. You about to be on the stand. Mujtaba Rauf, a member of Tmoa, to take Exhibit A to the mobile home and use it to demand that Raheem leave his home. I want to warn Mujtaba real quick. Mujtaba, if they try to convince you to tell the court that you wrote the letter and delivered it yourself without being instructed to sell, please don't do it, because that means you're going to go down.
Yeah, they're going
right.
to throw you
And
under the bus.
none of them are going to care about you. None of them.
Yeah. You
No
got a
calls,
family,
no
you got a
messages.
wife, you got a kid. Yeah.
Just do what's right. Do what's true and do what's right.
Also, and for them to even do that, right? This might be getting a little borderline, but for them to even do that, right? To attempt that, there's a concept in law which they call deeper pockets, right? Because we know Mujtaba, if he's doing the same thing in Virginia that he was doing up in New York, he's part of like the security team or whatever, right? He's still a representative of Tmoa.
Yeah. Right.
So what happens is, like an example they always give in the law class, the beginner law. I'm not a lawyer, but beginner law classes in business. Like, so for instance, if there's a Domino's pizza driver delivering pizzas, right? He's driving his own car, but he's working for Domino's. And if he runs over somebody while he's delivering pizza,
yep.
Guess what? They go sue Domino's. And if Domino's wants to avoid any culpability in it, they actually have to sue the delivery driver. So Tmoa would actually have to sue Mujtaba. So
yeah, and
they would do that. They will do that too.
And
I know, that's what I'm saying. He better watch himself.
Yeah, and I made a really good point, and that is that not only is he going to be telling a lie himself personally, which as a man, your integrity, has to come into play. If a man can't stand on, the truth, doesn't have his word, what really do you have after that?
Yeah.
And then if you go and say, hey, I wrote the letter myself and I did this myself, no one told me to do it or whatever, I was acting alone, which we know is not true, but that only helps them, the Tmoa leadership or the group, and it hurts you. It hurts you. It puts you on an island by yourself. You're not gonna they're not gonna give you a parade after this. Most likely, you're going to be, if you wind up in some sort of hot water or you wind up with some sort of record because of this or something like that, it's more likely that they would excommunicate you and be like, hey, we don't deal with people who, engage in this type of behavior, and they're going to throw you all the way under the bus.
Yep.
But even more than that, you'll be in trouble with Allah because you're not supposed to give false testimony like that. So just tell the truth, and whoever is correct in their actions and what they did will get what they deserve, and the people who were wrong will get what they deserve. Telling the truth will do that, and you also will wind up on the right side with Allah. So just tell the truth. That way, you don't wind up getting yourself in trouble, and whoever is rightfully supposed to, whoever is supposed to get their rights based on the truth, will get them, and you will be rewarded for that.
It's actually narrated in Hadith that giving false testimony is among some of the most serious of the major sins. Actually, that's not no light matter at all.
Yeah. And add some more context to this to our viewers. Mujtaba is Salman's brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
it's getting
are
sticky.
you going to be culpable in taking your family member down? Like,
just cause?
Yeah, which we talked. I think when we announced that Sal got kicked out, and we talked about the test that his family would have to go through, and I'm pretty sure he's going through it. And it's sad because it's a reality. I wonder how many of his family members are already turned on him.
Yeah,
because it's inevitable. They're going to choose Tmoa, and it's really sad. But inshallah, when he gets paid,
they're gonna all turn around. What's that? What's that thing? It's like the Indonesia straw from after hardship. There's ease, so this inside. After this, after hardship, it's gonna be ease, inshallah. So, let me ask y'all. Let's do a quick. Let me stop sharing. I'll do a quick little tangent. You're suing Tmoa, right? And your brother, your sister, your cousin, maybe even one of your parents turn on you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, brother. You win the lawsuit and have 1 million. And then that same person shows up like, yeah, alhamdulillah, I was with you the whole time. Are you helping that person out with a little bit of loan or something? Me personally?
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, I might give him a few old Islamic posts or something.
Yeah, I was about to say. But the best I can do for you is like I'll go to a massager somewhere and donate money on your behalf. Besides that, you ain't actually touching no money.
But you know what? And the thing is, I mean, we're speaking of money. I mean, y'all have the opportunity right now. Try to jump on this joint. It could be a class action lawsuit. If you come too late, you might not get anything. I mean, why go down with the shit where you can jump off early and maybe get paid? I mean,
didn't Nadeem?
Right.
Didn't Nadeem lose his house?
Yeah, I think they did. They took his whole setup. The girl, the kids, the house, everything.
Yeah, Nadeem, you need to hook up with Sal.
They took his happening.
But Sal's father too.
Brother Shakur and them, happening. Mm-hmm. They pushed their house way down there in the woods. Literally just pushed it in the woods. And then
they just pushed it in the woods.
Muhammad Afid and them got a house down there. I'm really not joking. They just pushed it.
Yeah, no, because I remember that vividly too.
Broke down on the side of the tree line for a couple years.
I remember they were destroying his house, and Mabu called him was like, "Bro, they're destroying your house." He was like, "What?" It was so wild, bro. Oh, well, these people.
Yeah, go ahead and jump on that class action lawsuit. Listen, and we'll say, I think I can vouch for Sheikh Jafar when I say this, and all the rest of us too. It doesn't matter who it is, even if it's, well, I don't know, we may not be able to extend it to Noor, but for anybody else, really, if you're thinking, okay, man, I might want to try to jump on this lawsuit, I might try to. You can contact us. We won't say a word. We will not expose who you are, why, whatever. We will route you to the right things. We'll try to, help you to get set up if it is possible. Don't be shy. Really, it's a matter of us wanting the right thing to be done. and whatever took place in the past between all of us, we don't care. But there's money on the line. That's one thing. I mean, if that's what it takes to get you to move, there could be some good money on the line. But we will help you. We will help you. Just reach out. We got the email address, so you know the ways to contact us, and we'll go ahead and do it free of charge. We'll go ahead and get you set up with the people who can possibly help you. We can't make no promises, but we'll help you get in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
What I know it's international, but didn't Mudasa and his family get kicked out of their house in Canada? They vandalized it and everything.
Stuff thrown out,
Mountain Man,
or whatever.
Come be a witness at least, so you can show that what their practices are.
Mountain Man, nah, let's never mind. You know what? I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna leave him alone. Yeah, got him confused, Sheikh.
All right, so let's see here. All right, so okay.
We're on 18.
Are we on 19, 18? Where are we at?
18, we're still reading 18. Once you got to Mujtaba's name, you had to stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Member of Tmoa to take Exhibit A to the mobile home. So he took the dismissal letter to the mobile home and use it to demand that Raheem leave his home. So let's translate this. The mayor, the leader of the land, sent the security force to deliver the letter and kick Salman out of his home.
Mm-hmm.
That is called an eviction.
Yes.
It's an eviction, right? Exactly in a normal world, you go to the owner of the home, the landlord, right? In this case, it's Tmoa and Kari Ishmael, whatever. They're the landlord. And in the real world, you would go get the sheriff or the police to go evict somebody. Go tell them they have to leave. Give them these legal documents and tell them they have to leave. Tmoa doesn't have legal documents, but in their own world, they issued Sal a notice and said, "Get out of here. You're evicted." Okay.
And Mujtaba was acting as kind of like the sheriff in this situation, like because he's like the security team or whatever. So this is basically what they did. If you want to make a real world comparison, Tmoa's mayor sent their sheriff to go evict
Oh man. This stuff is funnier the more you get into it. I'm telling you, we got to start our fictional series based off fact. All right. On the night of September 14th, 2023, Raouf, in the company of two members of Tmoa, went to the mobile home, and one of the three knocked on the door of the mobile home, the door. One of Raheem's sons. So this is a few months later now, right? So this stuff happened on June. No, the conversation happened in June.
Yeah.
21st. And then
the night of the letter and stuff was on the night of September 14th.
September 14th.
So about 2 months later, 2 months and some change, yeah.
So Hawk let this stew and work. So like you build up, probably talked, he talked to the Shura Council members. What are we going to do about this situation? They probably had a meeting and said, okay, well, Sal's a good guy, his good character, and let's give him a chance. So this is how we're going to handle it. And they do this quite often. They'll kick people out, suspend them, give them some kind of punishment, and it's like a wake-up call. Like, hey, you're about to be kicked out. And then hope that they come back groveling, begging, oh, what did I do? What do I need to go back? And they're like, okay, well, you got to give us a certain amount of money. You can pay half the pack, best due, bound, or whatever they do. But basically, they want people begging to come back. Mm-hmm. So within those 3 months, Sal must out of what? Begging to come back, didn't seek to clarify. And so say, let's punish him. Let's see if that'll wake him up and get him to start saying, hey, no, I want to be in the Jamaat. Let me in. How much money do I got to pay? That's what they were expecting. Mm-hmm. So on the night of September 14th, Raouf, in the company of two members of Tmoa, so the sheriff and his deputies, went to the mobile home, and one of the three knocked on the door of the mobile home. One of Raheem's sons opened the door and told Raheem that Raouf was at the door. Raheem came to the door and went outside to a porch. Raouf told Raheem that he was told to hand Exhibit A to Raheem and have Raheem read it. Raouf told Raheem to read Exhibit A. Raheem read Exhibit A. So he read the dismissal notice. It was delivered, right? Rauf then said that he had been told to tell Rahim to leave now. Leave now. You are evicted. Get out. You can't be here. You cannot be in your home.
Right.
You're gone. In order, and we'll get more context once we get down to the actual dismissal letter. So he's dismissed. You're kicked out. You're evicted. Vámonos. In order to avoid any physical disturbance, right? Because Sal's not trying to be confrontational, you know, because this could easily turn violent. We know Tmoa has a history of violence. We have plenty of documents of that. Rahim left the mobile home after telling members of his household that he had to leave, explaining that it was because he wasn't paying membership dues. And I just want to pause right here real quick just to talk about this part of it, because we're all men. We're all head of households now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 of us have children. Could you imagine, like, because as men, this is like what we're built for. We're built to manage the home, be there to maintain and protect. And then you have to go to your wife and your children and say, sorry, daddy got to go, right? It's one thing, like, you know, if you get evicted because you're poor and you don't have the money, and then like, all right, we all rolling out together. Let's go. Daddy's gonna figure it out. Let's go. Yeah. The kids' family will still feel protected because they're with daddy. They're with the leader of the household. But now you're taking that central force, and we talk about that, like we compare the leadership of Tmoa, Mubarak Jelani, his crones now taking over. How many times have we compared their leadership to like slavery? How they considered as slaves? How many different things have the slave history done to break up the African family?
Yep.
And look at what's happened here. Daddy's got to leave y'all to fend for yourself. He avoided a violent situation, but he still has to leave his family in a risky situation because you don't know what could happen after he leaves.
Yep. And
I mean, just think of what they, what they might be saying to his children. Yeah, your daddy, and depending on the ages, sometimes, they can be very impressionable, and the things that someone might say about your daddy. I mean, they might really believe it until they get much older to a point where they can understand. But the whole thing is, it's similar to what they taught. One way that they kept slaves in check was to threaten to either harm physically or sexually or other ways the man in the family or the mother. And one way they kept them in check was they wouldn't get too far the line because they wanted to stay together. And if one acted up, that's one way that they would punish him by, what's the phrase? Our parents would say, sold down the river, sell him down the river. And down the river was usually to the more rougher, harder slave life. But the playbook is still the same. If the daddy acts up, we're going to sell him down the river. We're going to get rid of him. And then we'll still have control of the children and the women. And
in Tmoa's case, as we know, like the man of the house isn't there, then the Tmoa rat dudes come around and start freaking telling the wife that she has to divorce him and leave him there. So now she's going to become a single mother and just be stuck in this vicious cycle because she's been poisoned against her husband because people are, he's an enemy, he's a kafir, he's going to hell. You're going to be married to a kafir, and I'm Muslim dude? No. So we see this happen all too often, sadly enough.
Yeah, what they're doing is nothing new. And if you think about it, it's actually deeply disturbing that they're taking out one of the vital figures of the family, mother or father. And then they've been doing this for years. We just never had the actual evidence of them doing it. But you can tell they know what they're doing. They're trying to get Sal out of the house, the man of the house, so they can begin indoctrinating the kids and the wife. And then not only turn them against Sal, on top of that, Sal is still going to be the one taking care of that household, which he's not allowed to be in, because all of y'all are just trying to make them slaves to do your bidding, and you're not going to take care of them at all. You want them to just turn on him, and he still has to bear all the responsibilities of his family. This is some very sick, twisted stuff when you really think about it, and they know exactly what they're doing because this is their playbook. Yeah. This is their playbook. And so I can imagine this sounds all good on paper. I can imagine what was really said and how the night really went. We can only imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that Sal also was like the sole or the primary supporter of his mother as well. And she got a bunch of kids, but he's the primary source of her support. And you got to look at, we talked about this before. This is what Shaitan does, right? We know the hadith about Shaitan's minions go out and they all come back and say, hey, I got this guy to do this. I got this guy to do that. And the one that broke up a family was the one that was celebrated.
Yep.
Right? So in Islam,
was able to sit on Iblis's throne.
Right. So in Islam, there's a saying that when you look at things in Islam, if they don't reflect some kind of mercy, then it's usually not part of Islam. Where's the compassion for this family, right? You're so bent off on him paying membership dues that you couldn't say, hey, listen, we're kicking you out. You have a month to leave. You and your family can go.
Baby.
No, they wanted to separate Sal from them as an example, punishment. And then I hope Sal's listening. I hope his family's listening. And I may be wrong about this, but I can kind of predict what happened after Sal left that home. Because it kind of happens, the same thing happens, right? Sal left, and then everybody started getting on WhatsApp and the phones. Like, oh, did you hear what happened?
Yep.
I'll bet push-ups on someone from Tmoa leadership contacted his wives. And like, hey, we're here for you. We know you're going for a hard time. They started love bombing them. We're on your side. We're on your team. We're hoping Sal fixes himself. All these efforts to basically break up the family, turn the wives against Sal, turn the kids against Sal. Oh, what's wrong with him? This is all from Shaitan. So all this Jama'at of Allah, this Jama'at of Rasulullah, when all you're reflecting is efforts that Shaitan and his soldiers do. And it's really sad. It's blatantly obvious.
And you have to think about it. Let's go one more level. Sal has 2 families in 2 trailers on that one property. So everything that has happened is double. It makes it that much worse. It's not like he has another family on a different property. Both his families. So they're at one time, they're splitting up two families in 2 households and taking 2 properties from them in one night. That's how bad it is. And the Power Rangers are up there like they're really doing something good. And it's your own family. It's about to affect you. It's about to affect you in your household because those are your nieces and nephews that you're taking from.
And where's the tact, right? Even non-Muslims have tact. Okay, if Tmoa, you think you're right in evicting Sal, kicking him off or whatever, right? Why would you send his brother-in-law to go do it? Out of all the people on the land, you can now we're not going to send his brother-in-law. Like, that's going to cause family dynamics, cause issues. Go ahead. Let me know, Mubarak.
I can answer the question. It serves 2 purposes. It and not only in a way they could use it to kind of humiliate Sal, try to, and also to test the loyalty of the brother-in-law. Where do your loyalties lie? Let's send him down there to see if he's really going to do it. Because listen, if you will sell out family, everybody else is easy after that. So they got so they ran him downhill against his own family. So that way they're gonna know this guy here. He will trounce. He will throw family ties out the window for us. So that maybe they're like, okay, we got one here. We got a real gopher here. Yep. We got somebody we can sick on anybody we want. He don't even care about family. He'll do anything. So that's the way they can test and see what type of guy they got. And once they realize he's one of their dogs or whatever, they can let him loose. maybe they can trust him now. But hey, maybe if he would have hesitated, you know what I mean? Oh, well, Sal, that's my brother-in-law, you know, my family. How am I gonna deal with this, John? Then they might be skittish on him. But now he probably went up a couple rungs. Now, if he goes ahead and takes the bullet and lies and said he wrote the letter and everything, then he might go up a few more rungs. As long as he don't get on paper for what he did. Now, as long as he doesn't get in trouble with the law, he's all right. If he does, he's useless.
Right. And once again, I can't take it. I just keep thinking about stuff. When Mujtaba was walking up that road in the dark that night on the dusty land, he was really not thinking to himself like, what the hell am I doing? You have a relationship with your brother-in-law. You know him on a personal level. You know his character, how trustworthy he is, and what's going on. And you still decided to make the coward decision to stand with falsehood and actually stand against your brother that you actually been through real stuff with. That is a testament to your character and who you are. And I'm sure that relationship will never be the same. And for what? Like you said, they're going to throw him so far under the bus. Once he has to take that stand, he's going to become a component of the bus. And he still lost his relationships, and then he's going to lose his family too. The same playbook that they handed him, that same playbook is going to be the death of him too. And it's sad that people keep falling for this same whack preschool playbook.
Mm-hmm.
It's embarrassing.
All that's going to happen for real is that he's going to get on trial and say XYZ, and Hawk or whatever the hell, or Team Leadership should say, we did not tell him to do anything sort of the matter at all. He acted of his own volition. He was a lone wolf. He's been a malcontent for many years. Honestly, we've been trying to get him out of here for like 10 years plus. He's kind of just stuck around. From today forward, he is dismissed from our community. No longer can be a part of it. Be gone. All right.
The thing is,
right.
The bad thing about this is that as much of a cowardly act that is, and maybe it's not. Maybe Mr. was just not smart. It's like stupid. He just did. Dude, I don't know what's going on, right? The sad thing is that we know that many people in the cult of Tmoa are just waiting for an opportunity to turn on their family members so that they can prove their loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sell it down as long as I can get recognized and move up and show I'm loyal. And the thing they don't realize is that you're trying to show your loyalty. Right? But for all those people that are above you, all you're showing is that you're a person that actually can't be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
They don't trust you after that. Like this thing. They don't. They know that they can use you for a certain thing, but they will only let you get to a certain level of proximity because they know, like, oh, he will turn on his family members. That means he'll turn on me. So you're actually not even gaining anywhere. You're just making yourself out to be a tool to be used. And you'll be forever used that way until you're actually disposable. And how many people can we look out through the past that have done that, sacrificed their lives, murdered people, killed people, stole property, beat people up, give up all their tax returns, give up all their inheritance, give up whatever, and at the end, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, you can't even be buried here. You can't go be buried on your backyard.
And the thing is, it actually isolated him. You know, it's like it isolates you because you sell out family, right? So they know that they can use you to do some of the most lowest, grimiest stuff. Because the sellout family is one of the lowest, grimiest things you can do. So they know they can use you for all their grimy works. And they know that because you sold out your family, they're not going to come to defend you or support you against them. So they got you going both ways. As soon as they're done with you, like the Sheikh said, they're going to throw you out with the trash, run you over the bus. You're going to become a component of the bus. And then that's going to be it. You know, it's going to be an afterthought, just like so many others that came before you.
Yo, I just figured it out. So they should. I wonder if they covered this at the Tmoa Youth Career Center. This Mushba, you are on the career path to Jamaat Halala, man. Because they know you are a dirty nigga that would do some low down stuff, right? So if you get a call, like show up at this hotel room at 9 o'clock, don't say nothing, you already know what that's about. But if you want the good career path, you got to take the career path to the young boy that just got appointed mayor, right, in Virginia, right? Because he's on a different career path. He's possibly if he lasts long enough, he might make it to the Shura Council. You didn't go down that career path. You went down the grimy path. I'm pretty sure that boy that got appointed mayor never sold out his family, never like just kicked his family and friends to the wolves. So you're choosing the wrong career path. Maybe you have a chance to, reverse that. If you do, when you do come to court testify, just tell the truth. That could be a start. Just tell the truth.
Well, after tonight, he either got to double down or just back all the way out because it's over. He's already on paper. He's on court documents.
No escape, bro. No escape.
But you know what? And just so we don't go over this too much, but again, like you said, he's on court documents. By them putting you in that position, now look at the stress of stuff you have to deal with and the potential fallout that you might have to deal with because Mujtaba, if you go into court and you don't tell the truth.
Wait. I got some official documents on the side. Hold on.
Right?
Documents on the side.
And perjury is punished by fine or jail time. So look at a situation just because they wanted to use you as an example, test your loyalty and all these different things. You're now in a situation where you could potentially bring risk to yourself and your family. Just think about that. What do we got here?
We have the official documents for December 19, 2014. Assalamu alaikum. Dear community members, we hope this correspondence finds you all in good health and spirits. We write to inform all that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed through the Holy Prophet Sallallahu and our beloved Murshid Kamil that Qari Ismail Abdul Haq has been appointed as Khalifa due to his merits and good works. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant his steadfastness and increase capacity to carry all of his administrative responsibilities. Like you said, sure. All right, sign by all of them.
Style.
Yep.
The old style where they put their signatures on.
Yep. There's no escaping this one. Shout out to my brother, alhamdulillah, for coming to
these people,
the documents.
Just tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Stand behind the truth.
No point lying, bro. No point lying.
All right, let's get back to this.
That's a point. You know what they might say, yo?
What's that?
They might be like, yo, Khalifa, he was appointed at Khalifa, but that's like that's a spiritual leadership. It's not
in
like
the spirit
he's
world?
still a volunteer on the that's for the spirit world type joke. But as far as on the land of Tmoa, he is a volunteer.
And really, like it was more so just an honorary title for someone that's been there for a while. You know, it's not really like an actual Khalifa, but like
he's not
a K2.
What? It's funny because when it gets in front of the judge, the crap that Tmoa is going to be doing in court is going to piss the judge off so bad.
That's what happened last time. Yeah,
and like people that have common sense that are going to be part of the jury. We'll get to the jury part. They're going to be looking like, what the? Yeah, this is an effing cult. Y'all getting rich? Yeah, give this man his money. All right, so Sal left, and Raheem to his sister's house. Wait, in order to avoid him from the story, he left. Okay, Raheem to his sister's house and spent the night there away from his family. Raheem has been away from his family ever since and has not returned to the mobile home. The facts recited, paragraphs 17 to 24 of this complaint were intentionally caused by Tmoa and by Haq with the intent to keep Raheem away from his home and to cause him extreme distress.
Yeah, absolutely true.
I mean, as like staying out, like when I have to travel for work, when I don't want to, it's stressful. Sometimes it's a break because you get away from, you get away from the kids, honey, or whatever. But travel is a stress. That's why as Muslims, when we travel and away from our homes, we get to make traveling a lot because it's a stress. It's a hardship. Being forced out of your home, like going from like, where am I going? Where am I staying? Going to be someone who I know Sal a little bit. I know he's very independent. He's a good caretaker, leader of the home. He probably hasn't had to depend on too many people for the last 20-something years. And then be able to, like, I got to go ask someplace to stay. I got to go be a burden on somebody else. For people like Sal, if I think he's the type of person I think he is, I know that would be a burden on me knowing I'm a burden on somebody else. That just caused me stress. Like there's so many different levels we could talk about with that, just being forced out your home. But yeah, he's been distressed. He's been kicked out of his home.
Absolutely.
The facts recited in paragraph 17 to 25 of this complaint were extreme, outrageous, and intolerable by Tmoa and Haq, particularly because of the centuries of law that have given particular protection to home ownership. Yep, again, he owns his home. They technically couldn't kick him out of his home. They could say, take your home out of here, but they can't kick him actually out of his home. He owns that. The fact recited in paragraph 17 through 26 of this complaint constituted intentional infliction of emotional harm by Tmoa and Haq against Rahim. As a proximate result of the intentional infliction of emotional harm by Tmoa and Haq against him, Rahim has sustained and will sustain very severe emotional harm and great fear. Yes. This is all building up to, you about to pay me. You about to give me some of that money.
And then even most of the damage, let me touch on that real fast before you go.
Yep.
Most of the damage that they're going to do is it's going to trigger down, like I told you, generationally. There ain't going to be no amount of money that can fix some of the damage that's going to be done by them.
And by the end of it,
how can you put a price tag? How can you put a price tag on what a son or a daughter goes through, seeing their father, threatened by several men, to leave his home or whatever? A child is not going to forget that.
Exactly.
They're going to remember that for the rest of their life.
Exactly. And their father not being present on important things or important parts of their life as they're growing older, who they're going to be manipulated, and then they're going to be turned against Sal, and then they're going to have fear of him because of what the cult did to them. It goes very, very deep. The emotional trauma that his kids are going to sustain, like I told you, is going to be generational, because it's going to trigger down from them when they get older into their kids as well. It's generational damage that these very twisted, evil people are doing, and it's intentional, just like they keep saying in here. It was intentional and deliberate, because this has been their rerun playbook for over 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like September 14th. Close my door. No.
Yeah, so we're already into January, so who knows how much? Like, I don't. When was this filed? Let's go back. It was.
Remember, he got kicked out the night of September 14th. It's January 11th.
And then Sal 2 weeks later, or it was a month later, filed it October 13th. So we're in January now. So we have October, November, December, January. Of all this time has passed, who knows how much has changed in that time that he's been having to deal with? How much? Because let's just go through this. He's been wrongfully evicted. Okay. Where we got 27. He's been wrongfully evicted. Let's just talk. Forget about like all the harm, distress, mental anguish, and all these different things. He's probably had to rent an apartment or something, or pay for hotels, buy food, all these other extra expenses that he's had to pay for just to live for all these months.
Right. Just to live in the worst condition. Just to live in the worst condition. Like you say, he's been paying rent since 1999. He worked for over 24 years to build up where he don't have to pay this, don't have to pay that, and has his home at a comfortable to how he wants it to be. Now you're uprooting him from that. Now he has to go back into the streets and try to survive again. Of course, he's going to survive, because that's what a man does. But once again, they don't care about what's going on at all. I mean, you got fake Power Rangers that's supposed to be his brothers, Mujtaba and Ismail Haq, thinking they're actually doing something, even though they're damaging their own family. It's moronic.
Yeah. And then they say,
even something they might try to make it something as simple as him having to buy food. I mean, can you really put a price tag on a home cooked meal?
Not at all.
I mean? And it's like even that. I mean, sometimes you might want to eat out, but I mean, I think everybody knows like your best food, your favorite food, it's usually a home cooked food, and they stole that from the man. So the damages is like is astronomical,
right? Which goes back to what I was saying. You cannot put a dollar amount on so much that they're doing. So this is going to, when Saul win this case, inshallah, God willing, this is the least they could do.
Yeah.
The bare minimum least, and this still ain't going to make this is not righting a wrong for them. I don't. This is not nowhere near them right now.
So anybody else that this has happened to, or they have threatened to do this to you, because there's several people that this definitely has happened to, or whatever. They just didn't have they weren't able to turn it into, to really fight back the way Salman is doing. But for everybody that has been threatened, come on.
Yeah.
Get connected with this thing, and you possibly can at least get, it's not going to resolve the pain and the suffering that you went through, but
it'll resolve all of mine.
No, you already know. Naturally, you have that little bit, but it's on some real talk, like Mubarak was saying, it's bigger than that. It's about stopping this right here and now, so y'all can't do this to anybody else ever again.
Yep.
That's the biggest victory. The least you're going to pay up a partial, is this probably like 1% of the total amount of money that y'all done got people for the last 40 years. But the big victory is stopping this from ever coming again. This legal system that y'all going through is going to be the death of them, and it's going to put that fear in them because they're cowards. They don't have honor. They're cowards. They're scared. They're not going to do this again no more because they're not going to want to come and get exposed in front of the court again. And this is, like I told you, one situation in one state. They have multiple properties in multiple different states, so it can get ugly.
All right, so I just wanted to point this out because there's a lot of words here, right? The intentional infliction of emotional harm by Tmoa and Haq against Rahim was deliberate, intentional, willful, wanton, wrong, oppressive, and malicious. Now, you might hear these terms in like a Tmoa memo when they're trying to gaslight people, but these are actually legal terms. I don't know all the legal meanings, but they're actually legal terms that actually have like definitions and legal ramifications, and this is why they're putting these words in here. So I just wanted to point that out. So like when you see these things in like Tmoa documents, they don't know what it means. They just know it sounds nice, right?
And they always say it against somebody. Now it's getting used against them. You got to think about it. When it comes to cults and bad people that are always doing something, every allegation is a confession of something they do or how they think or feel. So once again, everything's coming full circle, and y'all getting hit with all the buzzwords, but this time the buzzwords are actual truth, and they're getting used in the correct terms. Not when y'all just say them to gaslight somebody. And y'all will have to answer to this in front of the judge, and then y'all have to answer for this in front of the ultimate judge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
I mean,
as a result of the facts recited herein, above in this account of this complaint, Rahim is entitled to entry of a judgment in his favor against Tmoa and Haq, jointly and severally, for compensatory and punitive damages. So basically saying they need to pay. Both of them. Haq needs to pay. and for all you people, just think about the new mayor in VA. Think about the position you're putting yourself in, carrying out this stuff. Now, Haq, Ishmael, I'm pretty sure he can't afford whatever he's about to have to get paid. He can't afford it. So whatever assets he does have, guess what? They're going to be bankrupt. Tmoa, I don't even know if Tmoa can afford it. You know why? Because all the money is with Noor in her personal bank account. So guess what, Tmoa? You might go bankrupt by one person. One person could put Tmoa all out of business. He might own every land in the United States.
Imagine. I'm about to say, let's wrap here, Jaffer. I think, and then we can do more later.
Let's go. So we'll cover count 2 on the next show. And just to point this out, we didn't even get to the wrongful eviction part.
Right, that was count 1.
We didn't get to that yet, y'all.
No, we're on count 1. which was intentional infliction of emotional harm, seeking compensatory damages.
Yeah,
and
that's
punitive
not
damages.
even.
That was
It's not even the crux of it. Yeah.
right.
So let me translate that for y'all. Even if they did evict him the right way, they'd still be able to sue them for how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
By getting
Right.
people out, kicking them out the night of, and like. So yeah.
I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think like how old is the new mayor of Virginia or whatever? He's like 19 or something like that. Is he a young guy? How is he a teenager
I
or
don't know
how
his
old?
exact age, but he's young. He's a young boy.
I think it's like my age, maybe.
He's really young. So
20,
I wonder. I wonder if just if y'all think there's any legs to this idea that's popping around in my head that they selected someone young because of their lack of experience or maybe naive or maybe not savvy enough to realize when they might be used as as far as in a legal situation or whatever, as kind of a pawn in this game. Sometimes even if you're, when you're older, you'd be like, that seems fishy. You mean what? Sign this document or do this or, but sometimes when you're young, when we were young, we were kind of reckless. We kind of would take chances,
Yep.
like you really, yeah, it'll be all right. Not worry about it. When you get older, you're like a little bit more cautious. You're like, yeah, that doesn't seem quite right. It seems like maybe, they get somebody as young as they can, to kind of, carry out some of their things that he may not question. He may not know to question.
I think you hit it right on the button because like now that you're saying it, you think about it. Anybody older? Because like when we were young, because like when I served on the New York Council, I was young, right? And as you get older, most older people in TMOA are like, I don't want anything to do with leadership.
Yep.
Right? That's like the first thing. It's like, I don't want anything to do with it. And anybody that's knowing what's going on would be like, no, I'm not becoming, y'all in a legal battle. Y'all got sued. I'm not stepping in those shoes.
I mean, because think about this. I mean, how much money, forget about, we know we wouldn't do it, but how much money would they have to pay you to be the leader of that land with this going on? You got a lawsuit. How much would they have to pay you? I mean, they
$500,000.
He has salary annually, by the way. And just think, like, for the young brother, that's the mayor of VA. Like, bro, do you think that you're like just the most exceptional person like of all time? Like they just like chose you. This is like, yo, like
right,
really
like your resume just checked out.
Yeah,
like your
just,
resume.
Yeah, they was like, yo, out of all the candidates, they had a bunch of candidates.
He's him.
And you were that dude. That
right.
He was the one that asked. He was the one that asked how to get to the Sheriff Council at the career fair.
They're like, do you know what? Actually, we got a job for you, young man. How you want to be
We got an internship for you.
A full-time partnership. Oh, well.
Not only that, to touch on what you were saying, Mubarak, they do that to get younger people because older people are more stuck in your personalities and stuff once you get to a certain age. And also, they're probably not paying that man a dime. He's probably just doing the bidding for free. So it's saving the money. He
said do
the bidding for free. Right? He ain't getting, I'll bet my bottom dollar he ain't getting a cent.
Hey, listen, man. He probably took the job because sometimes back in the day, like when you want to get married, you're like, yo, let me take a leadership position. That way, like, yeah.
And they'll put you on, put me on. All right, you got to do this and do that.
Be like, yeah, yeah. We're gonna start making. We're gonna start doing some activities for the ladies. This is what the ladies need.
Event.
They need the basketball court.
The basketball court.
Yeah, I'm an advocate.
Women's rights, my shaker.
Yeah, women's rights, swimming for the ladies,
Oh man.
Oh wow, brother so and so, he's really looking out for us.
He's so kind. Wow, he cares about us. Not a misogynist,
Yeah. As soon as he get home, he's like,
yeah. Oh man. So the next show we'll probably finish up this document. We'll cover count 2 and 3 in the conclusion, and go over the actual dismissal notice that was personally handed to Salman. So we're going to cover this until we run out of info to cover, and then we'll go back to covering the Dream Book. And I seen some cult from the Dream Cult where some guy was in the chat. Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to cover y'all. Don't worry. We're gonna get to y'all sooner or later. Are there any questions that anybody has? Please post them now because we're gonna be signing off in a couple minutes. I don't know if we missed any in the chat.
We just had like a few from the other Dream Cult guy.
Oh, the Dream guy.
Yeah. I was like, we'll get to you.
Oh, so what? He has one question. What difference, if any, do the brothers see between all cults encountered and the scenario surrounding Muhammad Qasim?
There's not really much different. You guys are just in the early stages of a cult, so you're not all the way there, but like some folks are kind of in, some folks kind of out. And you guys are inside of the phase where like you're trying to recruit people. So Mubarak Jelani had his phase in the 80s where he was coming to recruit people to his cult. And it was more so word of mouth. He found some people here, the Dar Islam members and some Black American Muslims, and said, "Hey, guys, join me." And so you guys are there now. You guys are doing publicity. You guys are going to like the marches for Palestine in DC and stuff, and recruiting members there and here all over the place. So you guys are in that stage right here currently. Some people are paying dues, others aren't. And eventually you get to the point where you're all paying dues and you're all part of the cult. And
you're eventually all going to get it. The only difference I see right now is their alleged leader is clean shaven with no beard. Usually they have a big beard.
Well, we got the picture.
He's clean shaven.
Yeah, we got the picture of we got the picture of Mubarak Jelani with clean shaven, just like Muhammad Qasim. Yep. Just like Muhammad Qasim, he is clean shaven. But
right.
But I will say, when he says what differences, if any, do we see between Muhammad Qasim's cult and other cults? Which, I mean, one thing I will give the Muhammad Qasim cult, I mean, they as far as they stay on point, on message. There, as far as their social media, I mean, it's a bunch of lies and stuff, but they're very consistent as far as their social media. And maybe, I mean, they popped up in the social media area or whatever, right. But they're really savvy with that. They really have some people who are really pushing their things. They are not able to really open a dialogue, which no cults really are. Right, I mean, that's what a cult. They don't really want to have open dialogue.
But they try.
They want to have some setup
in front of the camera. They try.
They want to have some plans. Like you have some of these interviews where they show somebody interviewing.
Stage questions. Somebody that already follows him and believes in him. And
Muhammad Qasim, you have dreams from Allah. Wow, that's great. How'd you get those dreams, Sheikh? I mean,
yeah, so no real pushback, but I will say that as far as at least just spamming everyone and everywhere with y'all stuff. I mean, y'all much better than Tmoa ever was with that. So
and I would say as far as like stereotypical cult traits, the biggest difference, and again, there's no like set recipe for cults. Mm-hmm. They all have a mixture of their own little characteristics, and you look at the overall picture of what they're doing. Are they misleading people? Yes. Are they diverting? And in Islam, it's very simple to identify a cult because you just look at the Quran and Sunnah and say, hey, are they misleading people purposely and blatantly from the Quran and the Sunnah? Yes, they are. Okay. But as far as like cult characteristics, the one cult characteristic that I could say that they don't have is that they absolutely do not have a charismatic leader.
Mm-hmm.
They do not.
No, he has no. I mean, none. But this is what I have noticed. I mean, and I know that's not a show about them, but I mean, let me run for a few minutes, for a few moments. They will usually the people who initially join or follow a cult. It might not necessarily be because of the leader, but they use him as a tool. So you have a lot of people who are ignorant of Islam. They're lost, or they have some sort of emotional thing where they want something to latch onto. Mm-hmm. So they latch onto this cult. They're very ignorant. Most of the people that we have talked to from this cult, as far as knowledge of Islam, very little. Mm-hmm. You have, I just became Muslim last month or whatever. I mean, you don't even have enough knowledge about Islam to make the 5 salah in a day on time. You can't even really do that yet. And you're talking about you're going to follow this leader. So you have a lot of people like that who are they have some emotional baggage, and they want something, and it gives them a sense of belonging and something to latch on to. Then you have the other people that are like attached to those people, a husband, a wife, children, and they just become indoctrinated into it, and they don't really even remember why they're even part of the cult.
Yeah.
They just know they're here, and it's what they believe in, and they follow it. And some of those people are hard to crack, but that's what I see from them. It's like you got a bunch of people who don't really know any better, and I feel sorry for those people. Then you have some people who do know better, but they're using Muhammad Qasim as a tool to get what they want. So they're using him. They're really his handlers around him. And you had some of that with Tmoa, if you remember. Like there was different groups that were battling over whatever before he came.
Yeah.
Like with or whatever, and then he was kind of used as a tool. It was like a marriage. He wanted some power. They wanted to use him to get power or whatever.
Yep.
Eventually, they wanted to overthrow him. I mean, not to go back through all the history, but that's what you have with these cults. You got a few people who are just naive. They're not smart enough or knowledgeable enough about the religion to understand, and you got the other people that they know better, but they're just deviant and they want power, and they're going to use that cult leader to get it. And then you have the rest of the riffraff who are just attached to people there, and they just, they're just going for the ride.
Yeah, one of them are actually in the chat right now asking the question. Mubarak, you can go ahead and take that one since you're on a roll. They asked, one of them asked, what is the main Quran Sunnah violation of Muhammad Qasim's message?
So
that he's the Mahdi?
Basically, yeah.
Right.
He is claiming to be receiving. He's claiming to be receiving communication and revelation from Allah. This is the main violation, because Allah only gives revelation to his messengers. So he by default is claiming that he's a messenger, because everybody has dreams. But as we've covered many times, nobody has to follow your dreams. And the only people who have to follow, who are able to give legislation and instruct people and guide people and tell people to follow some sort of action or stop doing any other action based on their dreams are the messengers. That's their job. Allah gives the messengers, their messengers. They receive messages from Allah, from the angels, through their dreams. And Allah may speak to them, but these are for the messengers Allah selects. It's not for everyone. So the only people that will have dreams like this, that we then base some sort of action or beliefs or follow, or some sort of future, some sort of events of the future that come, are messengers. There are the prophets of Allah. So if he is claiming anything that he's claiming, automatically makes him by default say that he is a prophet. He's a messenger of Allah. And this is the violation. Throw his ass out. Throw him out.
That's one of many. He's getting on you, Jaffer, but I can name one real fast. In that one video we just watched, he said he held Allah in 3 different forms. He said Allah descended down to him. And then we're saying he wasn't looking up, he was looking down. But he's in the same breath said Allah descended down. You're saying you beheld Allah because you were able to deduce that he was descending down to talk to you. That's a clear violation. That's clearly not Islamic, and that's clearly a lie.
Yeah,
clearly a lie.
And to the question that you just asked, listen, brother. So the claim that like he doesn't have the Mahdi in his dreams or whatever, he didn't say it's Mahdi. Listen, it's called insinuation, right? Okay, so when you can insinuate something without saying it, all right. So if I have a dream, right, where I'm somewhere with a stove, pots and pans, dishes, knives, forks, and I'm making a meal, I'm insinuating that I'm in the kitchen. And you say, oh, you're making food in the kitchen. No, I was just somewhere with forks, pots, pans, knives. Listen, if he's having dreams about he's fighting these 2 demon beings, Guj and Majuj, right? It's the end of times. There's war, and he is the savior of mankind. What does that mean to you?
Exactly. They play semantics, right? And we'll cover the dream. I mean, we're gonna do them really special. I mean, when we actually have the time to prepare for them and all that, but. Real simple. They play semantics. They say, oh, he never claimed to be the Mahdi. Oh, we don't follow him, right? If I have a dream, just like Amr said, if I say I have a dream that, like Amr said, I was in the kitchen, I was stirring up ingredients, I was flipping over hamburgers, and then someone says, oh, You're claiming to be a cook. I never said I was a cook. I just said I had a dream I was doing all the stuff that a cook does, right? Who fights the Dajjal? The Mahdi. He has all these dreams that he's shooting laser beams through his finger at the Mahdi, fighting the Mahdi and all fighting the Dajjal. So his dreams are claiming that he's the Mahdi, right? And then y'all say, oh, we don't follow him, but we follow his dreams. So if that's like me, that's like Mubarak, Mo, and Amr saying we don't follow Jafar, we only follow what he writes down. We don't actually follow him. No, you're following him. You guys are playing semantics with words. It's like Mubarak said, the people that follow y'all are just extremely, and I don't want to offend them, but ignorant. Not only Islamically, but just with like common sense stuff. They're looking for something to fill some kind of void, like they're either suffering from depression or some kind of like loneliness or something. The one brother that's one of their big promoters, he was just talking about Muhammad Qasim and how great he is. And then right before I talked about like, yeah, I was a Jew, I was a Hindu, I was a Buddhist, I was this, all these different religions he was right before he started following Muhammad Qasim. And that means you're looking for something to fill the void. And the one thing that all these cults kind of have in common, especially the Islamic cults, is Islam is not enough for them. They want to be special. They want to be something better than just being part of the Ummah of Rasulullah. So what do? They create sultans, they create imams, they create Mahdis, they create other prophets. Oh, my Sheikh is talking directly to Allah and Rasulullah. Like, this is what they do.
False
and it's the
idols.
same thing over and over.
It's just false idols that they're creating.
Yep. And I'll just close with this real quick. Listen, Tawheed Ummah, listen, if you say we're like predisposed to have an anti-cult mindset, you're kind of admitting that it's kind of a cult. I don't know if you understand that, brother, but that's kind of what you just did there. I know you may not have understood what you're saying there, but you kind of admitted you guys
like, yo, you grew up kind of hating black people, so you already kind of anti-black.
Like, yeah, way to go, Afi. Just like
but real talk, Tawheed Ummah, can y'all put our email at the bottom of the screen again? Hit us up in the email because you said you're going to get on the show. And when we finally circle back around to y'all, make sure you're present.
Yeah.
Make sure you're present.
Well, here's the thing.
And then
we'll put this out there since he's listening. He can go back and tell his people, or she can tell her people, or whatever. We've had an open invitation for y'all since the first time some of y'all members came on the show. Y'all came on y'all show. It was very bad. It was very disorganized, but it was very evident that y'all was upon some falsehood. Very evident by just our brief conversation. And y'all said y'all will never come on our show again. We contacted y'all head leaders. They refused for us to get Muhammad Qasim on the show. He refused to come on the show. And just recently, I entered one of y'all live streams Q&A sessions. And I was just asking very basic questions. Very basic common sense questions. And everybody was like, it was uproar. Some of their true colors started coming out. And guess what? Y'all deleted it from the internet. Mm-hmm. So all that promoting y'all do for Muhammad Qasim and his dreams, I came on one show and talked for like an hour and y'all deleted it. So again, there's an open invitation, challenge or whatever. Come have a conversation with us. We'll even come on your platform. We'll have a conversation with y'all and just talk pure common sense and try to get y'all to come back and follow the Quran and Sunnah. Yeah. And we'll fully address you guys.
Yeah, and we're already running over. But Tawheed Ummah, what I would like to know is, will you whoever you are, come on, show your face, get on camera, on screen, on audio, whatever, get your. I'm sure you have some. You're watching this, so you got some sort of device to be able to do it. And yeah, we will we'll do it. We don't mind if it's one person. We don't mind if it's Muhammad Qasim himself or whatever. But we don't want to. We don't want to play games with some bot, some guy who's just gonna a keyboard warrior or whatever. Usually, I mean, we don't even really always like engage with these people off the sideline. Who is he? We don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's a Muhammad Qasim supporter, but a lot of times when the heat gets put on, they run away anyway. So just like y'all deleted the joint when Sheikh Jaffa showed up, y'all got in y'all feelings because of the Mr. Bean. You never coming back on again. I mean, we've always been willing to talk and to deal with anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. So if you're gonna say that you'll come on and do what come on and do, maybe we might even come and do a separate show just for you. Just pick the time. I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I mean, I might do it depending if he's really.
I mean, he's willing to come on now.
He already spoke to you, Jaffer. He's saying he already spoke to you.
I don't know who he is, so I maybe he's one of the
either.
people on that panel.
I have nothing but time right now. Keeping it $1.
I'm just trying to sign off. I'm just sign off. We about to have a conversation.
Okay, I'm just like I gotta go.
Y'all, I have to work
Hey,
tomorrow. Y'all can hold me up.
brother Tawheed, I put the link to join the show in the chat. All you got to do is click the link. If you want to come on, we could give you a few minutes to have a conversation if you want.
I mean, listen. Sometimes, I mean, I know brother or sister Tawheed might say, "Okay, we just mocked again." I mean, yeah, the Mr. Bean video was. I mean, listen, man. I mean, some stuff you just cannot take that seriously. A dude coming out the woodwork. I mean, look at the guy. Man.
I mean, the whole operation is a mocking. Like, you call him out as mocking, but did you mock Khabib when you made a fake video about him? Numan Ali Khan, Yasir Qadi, all these other Shuyukh and Da'is that you guys have mocked by making these false videos with AI voiceovers. To me, I'd be very offended if someone did that about me. That's mocking. Same thing. Like, we could go and play this game, but the bottom line is, you guys are upon falsehood, and you guys are going around spreading stuff saying Allah said and Rasulullah said, and that's not what they said.
Jafar, you're gonna delete this one too.
Right. I don't understand why y'all can't.
What do we ever delete?
I don't understand why y'all can't get it through your head. Islam does not need Muhammad Qasim's dreams. What don't y'all understand? Islam does not need it. It's not adding anything to the deen. The only thing it's doing is taking away. It's taking away from y'all, and hopefully it doesn't, but it'll take away from y'all afterlife.
Tawheed Ummah, what did we delete? We didn't delete anything. Y'all deleted. Y'all deleted.
No, I did. When I was on the show with their live, they got offended by the things. You know what? I'll talk to my people about taking it down, and we did take it down.
The Mr. Bean video.
The Mr. Bean video.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Hey, man, listen. If y'all, I mean, we can put it. We can put it back up. We don't even mind. I mean, so how are you gonna try to hold it against him saying, "Oh, you're just gonna delete this too"? Like
we asked him to. What?
Y'all was your request. Y'all were upset. I mean, okay, whatever.
I don't think we got to answer him anymore.
He's going to all the semantics. He's going to all the semantics. We're not dealing with that.
Like
I said, Tawheed Ummah.
He's not.
I don't need Muhammad Qasim's dreams. You don't need Muhammad Qasim's dreams. Muhammad Qasim's dreams ain't doing nothing but making you feel good. That's it.
Yeah.
That's just the honest truth.
That's all right. Okay. We shouldn't have got sidetracked with him. We're gonna finish the sport joint, right? All right. And then we're gonna have nothing but open sea. I mean, listen, we're gonna have nothing but open field to deal with these Muhammad Qasimites. We're gonna definitely give y'all as much of the business as we can with the help of Allah. Because without a doubt, it's a cult, it's a deviant cult. Muhammad Qasim is either has some mental psychological issues, or he's an extreme deviant. But it's obvious and clear that he's not even a good Muslim. He's not even a practicing Muslim, or a knowledgeable Muslim. He's not. So we're gonna deal with him thoroughly. But right now we got another cult to deal with. So get in line. Get in line with behind the cult that we're dealing with right now. We'll get to shortly.
We have to do that at a later date. But real quickly, Tawheed, my brother Mubarak has some breaking news for you. In case you weren't aware.
If y'all want to aware, and you can let Muhammad Qasim know.
Give him a few minutes.
Yeah, he wants a few minutes.
Hold up on that. We're gonna give you Tawheed. We're gonna give you till what? 2 minutes.
9:45. No, 2 minutes. We're not done with that. You got till 9:42.
Okay.
So show your face up here. We're about to end the
Mubarak,
show.
allegedly, Muhammad Qasim prays now. So Allah rectified him already.
Yeah. I see videos.
Did he grow his beard? Did he grow his beard?
That's on the way. That's on the way. I saw. He was leading Salah.
Yo, why don't they ever? Whenever they put out the Muhammad Qasim little videos or whatever, him leading some people in Salah. How was a dude who just started praying leading everybody in Salah? Have y'all been praying? See, this is the thing. It doesn't even make sense. For someone who ain't even been praying, has anyone checked to see if he even knows At-Tashahhud or Al-Fatiha properly? Does he even know the positions, what he's supposed to say? No one's even checked him, man. Y'all this is ridiculous. Who is his teacher? Who taught him?
There's an adab, right? There's an adab to like leading prayer. Like you have like the oldest, the most knowledgeable, the one that can recite the best, and like all these different things.
Yeah. And so this was what I was getting to. Okay, so I'm saying, he's rectified now. All right, so he started praying. I bet you they will not even release the audio of him leading the Salah out loud.
That's what I said
in
the video I put out. And like
that joke gonna look like Malcolm X's prayer in the movie. How they pray in the movies, they be like Salaam alaikum, they be in all the wrong positions, saying all the wrong stuff.
They don't even have him doing one ruku'. No sujood. They just got him kind of getting up there, looking at a kufi like, "What's this?" Kind of like trying to figure out how he put it on.
Masha.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Are you going to turn your video on, brother Tawheed?
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, I can do that. No problem. Just give me a moment. Yeah.
Yep.
Where are you from, brother? UK?
Leicester, UK, man. Yeah, Leicester. If you know it, I don't know if you heard of it.
I heard of Leicester before.
Yeah, I heard Leicester.
Yeah, just give me a moment, inshallah. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you guys at the end of this stream.
Okay. How did you while you're getting set up? I mean, you can how did you wind up a follower of Muhammad Qasim?
I mean, I wouldn't really define myself as a follower, but just give me a moment, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Got a few questions.
Yeah, they don't. That's part of their rhetoric is that they don't claim to be followers because
but you're a defender.
But follow someone that's not the
do you defend something you don't really care about? Like if you don't follow,
we're going to establish. We're going to get some things established right now. Don't even worry.
Hold up. So think about this. Yo. Listen, seriously. Just say even if we was we do not bet, right? We don't bet, but like. If we was betting, right, on the local team, like we betting on the Lakers or whatever, and like I know the coach, I like got Darvin Ham on the line or whatever, and Darvin Ham is telling me the lineups, he's telling me who's injured, who's gonna play or whatever, and I'm telling y'all, Darvin Ham said XYZ, and y'all not gonna be like, oh yeah, we gonna go with it. So you would believe me over that, or be more willing to follow me in that, but someone who you believe is getting some sort of communication dreams from Allah, but you're not a follower of his. Who you following? I mean, like, if someone's getting dreams from Allah, you're not a follower of his, how does that even work? It's like, I mean,
that's a good question.
It doesn't make sense.
Brothers, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
yes, we can hear you.
You just give me, like, my phone's really freezing up. Hold up.
I mean, your audio is good. Your audio is real good, brother. So
that +44.
Guys, how you guys?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So how you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing fine.
Right, so,
and I would like to say this first and foremost. Much respect, brother Tawheed Ummah, that you came on, showed your face, got on. I mean, this is like I appreciate it. I respect it. So
we're not used to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I see you guys as brothers on the Quran and Sunnah, like me. I mean, I've always been a keen follower of Quran and Hadith. I don't feel like I've deviated away from that methodology at all. And I see you guys as, inshallah, seeking the same thing. So I thought, why? What's there to hide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you are not a follower of Muhammad Qasim. Is that correct?
Right. So we consider ourselves followers of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right?
Okay.
I'd stick to that.
Okay. So do you believe that Muhammad Qasim is having dreams that are directly from Allah?
So what I would say, brother, is that as a follower of Quran and Hadith, where I started this journey, if you want to call it that, whatever, is just comparing anything that comes to me, any information to the Quran and Hadith, whether that be dreams, whether that be any type of information.
So before you get too far down the line, like I'm asking a direct question so that we can base our conversation off of some things. I mean, like everybody's got a story or whatever. We all have a story, but there's two things. That's Muhammad Qasim.
I'm not trying to get to the story part. I'm trying to get more into the methodology part.
It's a direct question. Do you believe that his dreams are from Allah?
Yes. So I believe there's three types of dreams: Ar-Rahmani, Wa-Nafsi, Wa-Shaytani.
Okay.
And I believe his dreams are Rahmani dreams.
Okay.
Yes.
So you believe so that's a yes, that you believe his dreams are from Allah.
Yeah, he's a yes.
I believe they're Rahmani dreams, good dreams. Yes, true, good dreams. Yes.
So you actually believe that, just the cycle, I'll get back to what you actually believe Muhammad Qasim is going to be shooting the Dajjal with lasers from his finger.
I didn't say that. So
This is what
here
dreams.
the thing is, brothers, are you aware that dreams at times require interpretation and they kind of have symbolic
They always
meanings?
do.
Yeah. So who is the
Okay, so-
interpreter of his dreams? Who's interpreting his dreams? Who's the official interpreter of Muhammad Qasim's dreams? Is it him?
Let me just answer Jafar's question first, if that's okay, because I'm going to get too much by this way.
Cool. I'll have that
So
next.
obviously, so because Jafar asked, do I believe he would do certain things like shoot lasers or something? So as I said, because these dreams at times might require interpretation, then of course it doesn't necessarily have to take the literal meaning, of what you saw as the lahir of what was being described, right?
So you don't believe he's going to be shooting the Mahdi or shooting the Dajjal with lasers through his fingers?
Now what I'm saying is there's no iltizam, like there's nothing that necessitates that that you have to believe.
I just say, like, you're kind of just to be like clear, like I don't want to sound like we're coming at attacking you, but to have a conversation,
that's why I didn't want to.
I prefer this. We have to like kind of answer each other's question, because like this is what we did on the last show with the other people that came on. We ask a question and they actually don't answer what we ask.
I understand, and this is why I didn't want any preconceived me being connected to any group or me being connected to any brothers that you've already spoken to, because I would have preferred it that we just speak as brothers.
Yeah.
But it's become more of an interview type of thing, so it is what it is,
You have
But
questions, go ahead and ask too.
Honestly,
you have questions,
like you
can ask
said,
too.
you said you weren't a believer of him, or you don't consider yourself a follower. So we're just asking questions so we can get where you're coming from to have better dialogue. Which leads me back to
I get it.
Is who
I get
is
it, but
the
like,
interpreter of Muhammad Qasim's dreams? Because we know dreams need an interpreter, somebody that is verified, that have the ability to interpret dreams correctly based off of Holy Quran and Sunnah. So who is the interpreter of Muhammad Qasim's dreams so that they can interpret the things correctly?
So in terms of who is the interpreter, fine, we can say that from the Quran Sunnah, we find dreams being interpreted, but that doesn't necessarily mean that at no point in time do they have the zahir meaning included. So just because a dream does sometimes require interpretation, it doesn't mean there can't be literal meanings included. There can be literal and easy. There can be dreams which are quite easy to understand. There can be some which are more complicated. As for who's the interpreter, there's no one person who anyone can say that is the interpreter of dreams in the modern day or something like that.
Okay. So you do not consider yourself a follower of Muhammad Qasim. Also,
no, not
okay. Yeah, I'm just going through, just make sure everything is clear, especially for the listeners and viewers. You're not a follower, okay? So you're not following him, as in, if he gives some order, everyone go to Philistine and get ready to defend the Muslims or something like that. He can't give you any orders like that, and you're not going to follow that, right?
No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Ati'u Allah wa ati'u al-Rasul wa ulil amri minkum." And Muhammad Qasim is not any one of those at this moment in time.
Okay. Okay, so he's not a follower of his. He's having these dreams, but you, and correct me if I'm wrong, what he is saying is happening in the dreams may not necessarily be things that will happen literally in the future, but they do need interpretation.
Yeah. So I mean, some things might be more clearer in meaning than others. Some might be more symbolic. Just
But
depends.
in general, his dreams do need interpretation.
I wouldn't say in general. I'd say each dream would probably need to be looked at on its own
Are
merit.
there any dreams that he has had that do not need interpretation, and you know they're from Allah? They need no interpretation.
I'm not sure how to answer that question in particular,
Because
but I guess you could say
okay, because
Well, you said you believe in his dreams, right? So
the dreams
there has
have
to be
these are
something
true,
that's
brother.
like you believe in them. That because if you have to like this is just me from my perspective, right? If you're going to the dreams and you're saying, okay, there's two types of dreams. Some of them are allegorical, have to be interpreted, and some don't. They're just clear. So for you to actually say, yeah, I believe in them, it would only have to be the clear ones because all the other ones would need some kind of interpretation.
I mean, if you want to go into each and every dream, then I mean, generally speaking,
I'm just saying in general. So what I'm getting at is there has to be at least one example of a clear dream that didn't need any interpretation that you read or listened to. They were like, oh, I believe that because it's very clear. I didn't have to interpret it. A scholar didn't have to interpret it. And I know that came from Allah.
You're saying there has to be one? I don't know what you mean.
Okay,
wait. So I'm asking this question. What was the one dream that you found or heard about or read about and said this is the dream that I believe that Muhammad is telling the truth, or that his dreams are from Allah?
Yeah. So there was one dream in particular where I told my friend, "Yo, bro, pause the thing, yeah." And I looked at my friend. I was like, "Bro, this is true, man. Like, bro, let's stop playing. This is true. Why? I'll tell you the dream." Okay. And do you know what? It won't be the dream which probably you'd think or someone would think that would be the one that clicks off. Okay. So he had a dream, Muhammad Qasim, where it was a very subtle dream, right? So it was like, I don't know if you've heard it, but it's the one to do with the plate where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him that whenever you eat and you finish your food, like make sure you clean your plate with your fingers and like you lick your fingers.
Okay.
Yeah. Because obviously what we know of the sunnah of like of being wasteful and like things like that. So anyway, there's more context to the dream, yeah. But I'm just telling you the moment where it clicked for me. So maybe if I find that dream one day, I can go through it with you guys and show you which point exactly.
Yeah.
So that was the dream. I mean, so
this is what I'm trying to say. Is that might not that doesn't seem like the type of thing where someone's going to be shocked or surprised or like
it doesn't seem like that's I mean it, and not even seems, I mean there's nothing in from what you said of the dream that would lead anyone to believe that a person who had a dream about that is getting a dream from Allah, because there's a very, 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 very clear hadith about that. And this is something that's known in Islam about cleaning your plate. We don't know where the barakah is coming from. So, I mean, if I watch a movie or if I play an intense basketball game and lose a championship or something like that, I'm probably going to have a dream about what I should or shouldn't have done. So if he happened to have heard that hadith or read about it or whatever, and then had a dream about it and told people about it, that seems like the logical thing. That actually probably that is what happened. So for him to have a dream about a hadith, it just wouldn't be rational to think that, okay, this person is having dreams that come from Allah. Rasul was sent by Allah, and he told us that already.
All right, bro, let me ask you guys, either one of you can answer. Yeah? I know you don't have much time. Sorry, brothers, because I know it's late. I mean, it's even later where I am, to be honest.
It's good. We'll make time for this.
Okay, cool. So what's the main thing like that makes either one of you guys like the most skeptical about this situation? Like the one thing that makes you like this can't be true, that it has to be false.
Each to go, or do you want?
Can I go first?
Go
I
ahead.
have
Yeah,
multiple,
Jafar.
but once again, it wasn't specifically his message. It was who was giving the message. When I first heard of Muhammad
Okay, so
Qasim, I had already heard him out of his own lips say he did not pray and he was clean shaven, his beard. And I know that both those things are direct violations of what Muslims supposed to do, what Islam and what Islam is about. So once I saw that he wasn't doing that, then that put the dreams in question automatically, because that disqualifies you. If you're not doing those things, anything further than that, you're automatically disqualified. And that's not my words. So
Does
after
it
once I
disqualify
seen that,
the-
once I heard it come out of his mouth that he didn't pray, and I saw with my eyes that he shaved his beard off, going completely against the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that's when I already knew I had to disqualify anything that came after.
Wouldn't that at most, brother, yeah, if you just let me ask a question, wouldn't that at most just put you on the back foot and say, do you know what? لا أصدق ولا أكذب. That I don't affirm it and I don't deny it. Wouldn't it at the most put you in that position?
No, because it's like
Absolutely not.
he
That made it clear cut for me, because you're going against Holy Quran and Sunnah at that point.
there are
You're
certain
going against it deliberately, and you're openly telling people that you're going against it. So you're making it clear at that point. It's not anything it's not a gray area. You're advocating for that, and you're claiming that. You're making that in public.
Real quick, for anybody's dreams, the Islamic stance is what you just said. I don't affirm it. I don't deny it. Now, anything else that comes into the picture after that is going to push you one direction away. So if a random person, I don't know anything about them, I hear someone had a dream. Okay, standard, I don't affirm it, I don't deny it. And then you get more details. It's like, oh, he doesn't pray. Oh, he clean shaves and whatever else. You find out he's not a pious person and all these different things. That's only going to push you on the side of, well, I deny it.
That's not actually the asl. The asl of the mu'min, of the believer, is that you do believe his witness testimony.
No, you believe the witness testimony of pious people that are righteous and not known for lying. A person that does not pray,
that's what I'm saying,
is not a pious person.
That's what I'm saying. No, you misunderstood what I said, because you said the initial standpoint before observing the facial features or the lack of hair on the face and the statement about non-praying was that there was no affirming nor denying of his statement.
For dreams.
So you said
for dreams. Yes.
No, I actually. So that's the statement that you made about it. Like the asl, or where we should start from is, we should believe him, or we don't know if he's truthful or if he's a liar. We kind of have to stay between. No, actually, what Allah says in Surah Hujurat, ayah number 6, He tells us exactly what to do. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا. Believers, if an evil doer brings you any news, verify it, so you do not harm people unknowingly. And then after that, you'll be regretful about what you did. So this is what Allah tells. If anyone comes to you with news, if a fasiq comes to you with news, so just based on his appearance alone, and the fact that he admittedly said he does not pray, and the time that people started following him or believing in his dreams or whatever, he clearly said, I don't pray. And clearly on his face, he has the face of a fasiq, because he doesn't even keep his beard when he can. Clearly he can grow one, but he doesn't. So by definition, he's a fasiq. By his own admission out of his mouth, he's a fasiq. And Allah tells us that if a fasiq comes to you with information, fatabayyanu, verify it. So how can we verify a dream of a fasiq? You can't. Therefore, you can't trust him. This should end the whole Muhammad Qasim cult altogether. But I'm sure there will be some rebuttal or some rejection or some ignoring of the clear ayah of what Allah says, and we can put that ayah on the screen if he wants to know. It's in Surah Al-Fitrah, verse number 6. So Allah.
I know that.
Okay, so Allah tells us not to take the information from them.
So Mubarak, they actually use this ayah as support that we should all go and investigate and research his dreams.
So what do you say to that?
That we should, because he's a fasiq, we should investigate.
Because he's a fasiq, they're saying that Allah is commanding us to go research his dreams. That's how they use that ayah.
Okay. I mean, that seems a little backwards,
Well,
but if
well,
you do
look,
research his dreams, you can't research a person's dreams. That's like trying to research a person's iman or a research
Really, what
a
it is
person.
when you use the Holy Quran, right? You have to go into the context and the real meaning of what the ayat's saying, right? Allah is not telling you for any information that comes to you, even if it's from a fasik, go research it. No, it's in the context of some kind of important information that is actually that you need to know whether it's true or not. Like for instance, in the time of war, a fasik comes to you and says, "Hey, the enemy's behind the mountain." You don't say, "Oh, you're a fasik, I'm just going to ignore you." This is something that can affect you. Or if you're going to act on it, then you probably should go research instead of just relying on their word, right? We would not just rely on Qasim's word because he's a fasik. If it's necessary information,
let's try. Yeah, cool.
Yep.
All right, Jafar, if I can just jump in quickly. Yeah. Let's just try come to some type of conclusion. Yeah. So let's narrow it down. So we have Muhammad Qasim. Okay. He's either a liar. He's either it's from Shaitan with the dream. So he's deluded basically. He's truthful. Do you have any other options that are left?
Yes, there's tons of options. So here's what it is.
Okay.
He could be a straight up liar and making up
Straight up liar.
right? And an example of that would be, okay, you know what, these hadiths, I'm going to say I had dreams about these hadiths. I read this hadith about cleaning your plate. I'm going to go turn it into a dream and write it down on the paper. That's like a straight up lie. He's lying. That's one option. Another option is,
Okay. Yeah.
so the other option is that he's totally telling the truth and these dreams are all coming from Allah, right? That's the other option. The third option is that he doesn't know he's lying and that he thinks he's telling the truth, and that he actually has dreams, right?
From Shaitan.
From himself, his nafs, or from Shaitan.
Okay.
So that's basically 4 different options that you could have. Only one of them being true.
I agree that we've narrowed it down correctly. Cool. So let's just go to a dream about avoiding shirk, for example, or the types of shirk which are around today and things like that. Let's talk about the liar option. What does that sound feasible for a liar to do, or like what benefits would come from a pure liar?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I said this in a video.
So when you ask if someone's a liar, right? You look to what can the person gain from saying this, from this lie, right? Because a person can lie with something that's good all the time. We see if you know anything about cults, not everything they teach is wrong.
Yep.
They'll say, "Hey, get off of drugs. Hey, do this, do that," right? But they're wrong. How many Christians worship Jesus as the Son of God sincerely, but they're wrong, right? They say, "You know what? Don't do drugs. Don't commit adultery." Their commandments say worship one God. Oh, worship only one God, but they commit shirk in their actual worship.
Yep.
So you have to say, what is he gaining from it? That's when you're thinking about a lie, you say, what can he gain from it? Now ask yourself, what are all the things that Muhammad can gain and has already gained by telling these dreams to everybody?
Well, I mean, there you go, because he's been sharing his dreams for 8 years. And I mean, for the most part of it is just nothing. Like he's been truthful from the very beginning.
You don't think he's gained anything?
I mean,
I seen a video where y'all took him shopping at a mall to buy him suits.
You need to cut out the y'all stuff, man.
Well, I'm sorry. Some of his followers took him shopping to buy clothes. Another one of his followers told me personally that they buy him food.
Yep.
Another one of his followers said that they give him money.
Jafar, he's a very shy person, man. He's a very shy person. A lot of
cult leaders are.
Yeah. And he doesn't work either. Like he did some freelancing back in the day, but he doesn't currently work, is what they told us. And the thing you said about the thing you said, because I mentioned this earlier in the video.
He's got He's got a property.
Yes,
He's got
yes,
property.
yes. Alhamdulillah.
The same property that every Pakistani cult leader has. They live off these properties.
I
We
mentioned
know,
this
we know
earlier.
the scam, man. We know it. We know it
Yeah.
well.
His father left behind quite a bit of property.
Oh, does he
is
rent
like
them out?
the
Amr, go ahead.
I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say. Okay, so you mentioned about the whole like his dreams telling you to avoid shirk, right? Okay. Which is for a lot of his supporters or people who want to believe in him, or have some sort of understanding of him that hey, his dreams, his main message is to avoid shirk, right? The problem with this is Allah tells us this, right? And so eventually it's gonna get to the point where people will attribute the avoidance of shirk to Muhammad Qasim. So his followers
guys,
will get to a point where it's like,
let's talk.
I will avoid
Let's
shirk
talk
with
about
him.
Pakistan. Let's talk about Pakistan, yeah. I just want to just tackle from a little slightly different perspective, and then whatever we maybe call it a night.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pakistan is a place obviously with shirk, right? I don't know how much you guys know about Pakistan, but there's a lot of grave worship.
Every place has shirk. Every place has its shirk. But yeah, Pakistan, yeah, they definitely. Hey, did you know that Lahut Lamakan is in Pakistan? Did you know that?
That's just an inside joke. Sorry.
You're good. Continue. Go
ahead, brother. Sorry.
No, that's all right, man. Don't worry about it. Okay, so because that place has lots of shirk, there's always been, or there has been for a long time, Ahl Hadith scholars, Ahl Sunnah scholars, trying to promote our beliefs of Tawheed, which we all share, right?
Yeah.
Like Kitab al-Tawheed, Muhammad Abdul Wahhab. You guys take from Muhammad Abdul Wahhab?
Whatever he's writing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. No, sorry. I just mean like Kitab al-Tawheed, like
Yeah.
I think we all agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, there's a story of like a scholar in like about 100 years ago, so who took the like Kitab al-Tawheed, and he covered the name of Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, and he ended up being a very effective form of da'wah in the shirk places, yeah, in the subcontinent. And it was only because he covered the name that the da'wah was effective, because as soon as they found out that it was Muhammad Abdul Wahhab's book, then all of the Pakistanis and the Indians would be saying, oh, Wahhabi, you're a Wahhabi, right? But really the da'wah was just Tawheed, right? So with Muhammad Qasim, you see, because he's coming with an Urdu and a type of akhlaq which the people understand, then the da'wah of Tawheed, it settles more. It resonates more with them. Whereas if me or if you guys come and we go with the Muhammad Abdul Wahhab type of da'wah and the Salafi type of da'wah, they don't like it. So they're not going to listen.
Let me clarify. Let me see if I can understand what you're saying. You're saying that the type of da'wah that Muhammad Qasim and his followers are doing resonates more with the Pakistanis?
I mean that the Mahdi is going to be a unifying figure in the sense that he will be able to just have this type of figure about him and this type of da'wah and this type of akhlaq that all the Muslims are going to, for some reason, just be able to resonate with.
Okay, so basically you're saying that because he's claiming, or because his dreams claim that he's the Mahdi and people are being led to believe that he's the Mahdi, it's a more effective da'wah to get people in Pakistan to stop shirk.
I think that Allah knows best, yeah. Allah knows best, truly. But because there are narrations, about the end times where the dream of the believer will hardly be false, and obviously dreams are a portion of prophethood, and yeah, like I said, the dreams of the believer will hardly ever be false in the end time, then these types of dreams in the end times may serve as a means for people who are holding on to their religion, holding on to their Tawheed, holding on to the Sunnah, to have a form of like glad tidings from Allah that look, keep going, keep holding on to Tawheed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you.
So yeah, that's for the individual, not Muhammad Qasim preaching his self-proclaimed wahi, right? Where does it say in the Quran and Sunnah that some individual come with dreams and guide mankind with his dreams?
I mean, the dreams, if you look at them as mubashirat, which I do, I look at them as mubashirat, right? Which are the portion of prophethood. I don't call it a form. It's not absolute. It is a form of prophethood, but it's not. It's never going to be a prophet. The Mahdi is not going to be a prophet.
Answer me this: what's the difference between someone, because dreams that come from Allah is a form of wahi, right? And the difference between the dreams that we have from Allah, right? The inspirations, the glad tidings, the mubasharat that we get from Allah. The thing that separates us from our dreams is that our dreams have no legal consequence and are for us individually. Now, what would separate me having a dream and Allah allegedly telling me my dream, now go tell mankind your dreams, and if mankind doesn't follow your dreams, that I will punish them. What's the difference between that and a prophet?
Is the punishment more to do with not following the dream, or more to do with not following the content of the dream, which is Tawheed?
Following the dream.
It's more the content of the dream.
No, I'll be more specific. Believing the dream. Whether you follow it or not. So according to Muhammad Qasim's dreams, I could be a pious Muslim making all my salats, avoiding all types of shirks. But if I hear about Muhammad Qasim's dreams and I don't believe in it, Allah is going to punish me.
If you come with, if a person comes with the rejection of the content of the dream, then in reality we have to ask, what are they really rejecting?
But what's the difference between that and a prophet?
Yeah. And let me ask a question. No ifs and I don't believe. I believe Muhammad Qasim is a deviant, and I believe he's a liar, or he's deranged. I believe he's one of those things. I don't believe he is getting any dreams from Allah that Allah is instructing him to tell the people about. I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all, not even one bit. So for someone like me who has heard about Muhammad Qasim in detail and rejects what he's saying, I'm just going to follow what Rasul is saying. So if Muhammad Qasim had a dream about cleaning your plate and licking your fingers, I don't care. But Rasul did tell me in that hadith to clean the plate, lick your fingers, don't waste food, or however you want to look at it. But for someone like me who outright rejects Muhammad Qasim having true dreams or any of that stuff, what situation or position am I in? I heard about him, I heard about his dreams, and I reject him. Does that mean that Allah is going to punish me, or what?
I mean, we're getting more into the retribution for this is all a bit more whatever. It's not like really my place or anyone's place. I think what's more important is that, what should we do, in this situation, rather than, what's going to happen to us.
What do you understand as far as like Quran and Sunnah of how we as Muslims should deal with dreams?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hadith is clear, right? If true dreams, if good dreams are a portion of prophethood, then it's a dangerous thing to reject it. It's a dangerous thing to reject it.
What do you mean by reject it?
I mean, if it's true and it happens to be true, then to reject it it's tantamount to rejecting a portion.
What do you understand? Like, I'm trying to understand, what do you mean by true dream? Because generally, when we're talking about true dreams that Muslims have, it's something that actually happens because in real life, right? That makes it a true dream. Or they could just be glad tidings where Allah's trying to say, hey, you're doing a good job, or trying to guide you towards doing a good job, right? Okay. So what do you mean by true?
True means from Allah.
Okay, so when a true dream comes from Allah, right? And I'm talking about just glad tidings, like Allah gives you a dream that you're in places drinking honey and milk and gardens, and it's just a good dream, right? Glad tidings.
Okay.
How does a person accept or reject that?
This is the point. You wouldn't reject it, Ja'far. Why would you reject it?
I'm saying, like, how would that look? If I say I reject that, like, what does that actually mean?
Well, it's problematic, because this is the point, right? Is that if it's a portion of prophethood, a good dream.
See, and this is what I'm trying to get you to, and I hope you see where we're trying to take you. You're saying it's a portion of prophethood. What does that mean to you?
That's the hadith.
Yes. What does that mean to you?
What does it mean to you, bro?
What does it mean to me? I go to what the scholars have, and the Sahabas and the Tabi'in have interpreted what that means to me. So one interpretation is, Rasul said it's a portion of prophethood because he received true dreams, right? Generally, it says it's 146 of prophethood. And if you calculate the time that he was having true dreams, the true dreams as in he would have a dream about something and like the next day it would actually happen and manifest as in his true dreams, that's the 146 of prophethood. Right? But it does not mean as the fact of prophethood as if I have a true dream, I hold it on the same level as a Quran ayat or a hadith, or I'm not even punished by acting on it or believing in it. Because if you're talking about prophethood on that level, if we reject prophethood as in the Quran, the Sunnah, the commands that came to us from Allah and Rasul sallallahu, we reject prophethood on that level, we are no longer Muslim. But as far as prophethood related to our dreams, we do not have to accept, reject, believe, or follow anything in our dreams. Because, again, a dream, like you said, dreams come from three sources: Shaitan, ourselves, or Allah. And the only one that actually knows whether it came from Allah or not is Allah. And if you are not Allah, even the best scholar, the only one that can confirm what our dreams actually mean and where they came from are Allah and his prophets. And we have no more prophets. Even the best dream interpreter, if we go to him and say, I had a dream about this, I had a dream about that, and describe it to him in detail, and that dream scholar says, you know what? I believe that dream came from Allah, they could be wrong. No matter how good it was. I could have the same dream about honey, milk, gardens, and it could come from myself because I watched a movie about honey, milk, and gardens. I can have a dream about honey, milk, and gardens, and it can come from Shaitan because Shaitan wants me to think that even though while I'm living in my sinning life, I'm going to go to paradise. Or it actually could be a sign from Allah saying, you know what, you're doing a good job. But we don't know. So when you're saying, if I reject the dream, it's a problem, according to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at, that is actually not correct.
So, Ja'far, I mean, essentially, we don't want to become ultra skeptics about something which the Prophet ﷺ has affirmed. Okay, so if he's affirmed something called Mubashirat, called glad tidings dreams, then we don't want to become ultra skeptical towards that.
But how's that ultra skeptical? Because like what I have just said to me is pure common sense and rational. If there's something that comes to me, right? So like
the religion is not based upon that, though.
What's that?
The religion is not based. Sorry, Afwan. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I just said the religion is not based upon just pure logic and rationality, and that's where a lot of sects went wrong. That's where a lot
of our religion, Islam. This is why it's so beautiful. Allah tells us so many times in the Quran: use your common sense, use your reasoning, use your mind. So,
of course,
when according to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at, our dreams are for us, even if they are glad tidings from Allah, right? But because I know that there's a risk that the dream that I think is from Allah is not from Allah, I am not going to act on something that is doubtful, right? I'm first going to go to the Quran and Hadith. So, for instance, if I have a dream and I have a dream Allah came down, but I didn't look at him and I was just in sajda and I just felt it was him, and then Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came to talk to me, but I didn't see his face. I kept looking down, but my whole presence testified that it was him. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, go tell the world your dreams. And I felt and I believed like, oh, I think that was Allah. And I think that was Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, even though I didn't see him. Then I'll say, you know what? When I wake up, I say, you know what? Okay, I need to know how to handle this. So I go to the Quran and Sunnah and I go to interpretations. And then when it says, and I read clear hadith and I look at the interpretation of the scholars, I look at the stance of the consensus of the scholars of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at, going back to the Sahabas, and they say, your dreams are for yourself. And Rasul says, don't tell anybody your dream except for those you love and those with knowledge. But I'm saying, wait, but Rasul told me to tell the whole entire world. Guess what? Now I have doubt. I at least have doubt, even though the hadith is clear. Don't tell anybody except for those you love and the scholars. Now I at least have doubt. And what does Rasul tell us to do with doubt? Stay away from it. And since my dreams, now I have a doubt, a rational human being, which I think I am, I would say, you know what? I'm not going to act on it because I'm not going to get punished. If it was from Allah, Allah's not going to punish me for staying away from it by following the Quran and the Sunnah.
But Ja'far, you brothers are
skeptical. That's like rational thought for me.
Okay, but Akhi al-Habib, the thing here is that you brothers have perhaps gone past that point of staying away from a doubtful issue, and you've gone to. No, I'm saying that you've gone beyond that, right? You've gone to a point now where you're openly refuting, making claims, people are lying and things like this, and this is gone beyond that point of just staying away from something.
Okay, let me.
I'm talking from the dreamer perspective. I just spoke to you exactly from the perspective of Muhammad Qasim, that if he was following the Quran and Sunnah, that's what his rational mind should have done. Because, for instance, if Allah gave me these dreams and was like, go tell the world to stop practicing shirk, guess what? I can do that without telling anybody my dream and follow the Quran and Sunnah. We do that right now. Don't practice shirk.
Yeah, the Quran says that. The Hadith say that. I mean, Islam in general says that. I mean, this is something that's said on every member every Friday, and it's said in every salah from every Muslim who prays. I mean, maybe Muhammad Qasim doesn't say it every day because he admittedly doesn't pray every day. But for every Muslim, they say this as far as avoiding shirk and worshiping Allah alone. This is already something that's well known. But I just have one question. I have one question for you, brother. Please don't. I try to just get straight to the question. We're a little short on time. If I personally have a dream about something and I say it's from Allah, how can you verify that my dream is true?
Well, first and foremost, I wouldn't deny your dream, okay? And then I would look into your dream, and then I would look at what you're telling me, what you're saying to me, and I would also look at you, like you guys obviously have pointed out that you would look at the individual. It's not that you discount the individual completely. And then you would weigh things up all together and join them together and come to a conclusion about the dream, which is kind of what I've done, which I've spent time doing. This is the position I'm at.
So once you come to the conclusion, once you come to the conclusion that my dream is true, then what do? You've come to the conclusion that my dream is true. Then what? You act upon it?
فَلْيَحْمَدِ اللَّهِ. Then let him praise Allah. Alhamdulillah.
I mean...
Yeah, brothers. You know what, bro? Like the time here is like wow. It is 3:25 a.m. in the morning, bro.
We're gonna let you go.
You might as well stay up and pray to Hajj. Maybe pray a little extra.
But Fajr on Yom al-Jum'ah is Mubachus.
We would like to continue this conversation, maybe in a more organized fashion on a set time. Our email's down there. Email us. Also, you could WhatsApp me. It's sick. My number. I'll put it in the chat. So if you want to
man.
on WhatsApp.
Yes.
Whatever.
For coming on.
We would definitely like to have a continued conversation on this, because I think it goes a long way. Our goal has always been, we have experience with this stuff, and from our perspective, from what we've experienced, from what we know how this stuff goes, the Muhammad Qasim, whatever you want to call it, phenomenon, what's going on, it's the very beginning levels of occult indoctrination. And we see the classic stereotypical signs, everything that's going on. We can predict what's happening and what's been going on. And we've been right about every single thing that we predicted about Muhammad Qasim and his helpers, as you want to say, not followers. And it's just the very beginning stages. And So our goal is to try to help people back to the Quran and Sunnah, and just to let you know, like the danger in what you guys are doing, because you guys are helpers and you're promoting the dreams and sending this message out, right? You're not just telling people to stop shirk. You're saying Muhammad Qasim says to stop shirk, and look at these dreams. He's the Mahdi. I believe he's this and that, right? The danger that you guys are running into, and you have to at least acknowledge that this is the danger, is that one, you have to acknowledge that Muhammad Qasim's dreams could be false. You have to acknowledge that fact. That's a fact. They could be false. He could be telling a lie, right? You have to acknowledge that first off. But from a rational point of view, he could be telling a lie. Two, by you going out and promoting this, you are going and saying, Allah said this, Rasulullah said this, and there's clear prohibitions in the Quran and Sunnah about lying on Allah and Rasulullah. Okay, so that's the danger. Like, if it wasn't any of that, and you wanted to silently believe in Muhammad Qasim's dreams and go about your business or whatever, you're not affecting it. But you guys are engaging, at least from your own perspective, you should engaging in a potential very, very bad sin.
Okay, Jafar, I'll leave this maybe my last comment. I mean, I don't want to say that I want the last say or anything.
We'll give you the last say. You got the floor, brother.
All right, all I was going to say is, I think also the thing is, Jafar, is a lot of the conversations coming from like people who do believe in the dreams, they are rebuttals, they are refutations of other people who are coming out and making their own claims about Muhammad Qasim. And obviously, let's leave it there, inshallah. But yeah, I will. Wallah, I enjoyed talking to you, brothers. I do love you all for the sake of Allah.
I mean,
yeah, man, I'd love to speak again. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on your thing. And yeah, man, if there's any other contact details, whatever, I'll be happy to speak to you. Like,
okay. Inshallah.
No problem. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to close out. All right, assalamu alaikum. Good talking to you.
Shukran for coming on. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.